Before Donald J. Trump was President of the United States, he was known for being a wealthy businessman, capable of firing people on the spot, both in reality and on reality TV. He's also known for making audacious statements and for backing those up with audacious actions. It's no wonder then that President Trump has made his fair share of audacious purchases, but this man can definitely afford them. Worth over $2 billion, he's got more than enough money in the bank to cover these buys. From various modes of transport to buildings and everything in between, we're going to look at Trump's top billionaire purchases before revealing the number one most expensive. Like most billionaires, Trump has his own collection of cars. In true Bruce Wayne style, he's owned a Lamborghini, and in true Trump style, has owned a fleet of Cadillacs under his own name. We're going to look at two recent and very expensive purchases he's made, adding to his garage and consolidating his billionaire status. The Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren is a car known for its expense and for its impressive performance. With a 5.4-litre supercharged V8 engine complete with 617 horsepower, when it was released in 2003, the car was up there as one of the fastest drives money can buy. For this kind of power, you need a lot of money. When Trump bought the car, it was worth around $450,000, and he had it delivered in front of Trump Tower to make it clear that this man had a lot of money. Like its owner, the car was no shrinking violet. The beautiful design with gull wings reminiscent of classic Mercedes models would have done the job to let New York know that Trump was one of the wealthiest men in the city. For pure elegance and status in a car, the one name that stands out is Rolls-Royce. This quintessential symbol of success is often associated with wealth and has been the case for decades. It's no wonder then that Trump has bookended his career by owning rollers at different stages of his life. One of the first cars that Trump owned was a Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. Available throughout the 50s and 60s, the Silver Cloud was at the pinnacle of design and performance. Its iconic chassis is still recognisable today and marked a golden age for the car company. More recently, Trump has been seen behind the wheel of a RollsRoyce Phantom. This $500,000 car makes a big statement and has an equally massive engine with 8-speed transmission and a 6.75-litre V12 clocking up a respectable 453 horsepower. This isn't including the customizable options that are a must-have for any billionaire. Trump isn't the kind of man that wouldn't shy away from any of these, so it's fair to say that the car represents a massive billionaire purchase. But that's nothing to what's coming up next on our list. Usually buying a helicopter would top out most people's lists of extravagant purchases, but not for Mr. Trump. His Sikorsky Chopper doesn't even make the top 5. This unorthodox mode of transportation is now iconic thanks to its use in The Apprentice, as well as the now infamous presidential campaign of 2016. At $7 million, complete with customization, this is an impressive way of getting from A to B, but it's not Trump's most expensive. Nor is the next item on the list, but it's still very expensive nonetheless. Had he paid market value for it, Trump's yacht would have been a lot higher on this list, but since he managed to snap up what he called the Trump Princess for a steal of $29 million in the late 80s, it doesn't trouble our top spot. Built for $100 million, this was a shrewd move for Donald, who sold the yacht in the early 1990s. Instead, the next item on our list takes the crown for Trump's most expensive mode of transport. His Boeing 757 private jet, nicknamed Trump Force One. After all, which self-respecting billionaire doesn't own his own jet? Except this one goes one step further. Trump ripped out the 200 seats the plane came with and replaced them with 43, all plated with 24-karat gold. If that wasn't enough, he installed a dining room, bedrooms, a shower and big screen TVs throughout. Talk about travelling in style. But even at $30 million, this flamboyant purchase doesn't compare with the rest of our list. Buying one golf course could be considered a billionaire purchase. Buying 25 is on a different level. Trump is a known lover of the game and can often be seen playing a round of 18 holes. And he has a lot of holes to choose from, 450 to be precise. From the US to Scotland and back again, his courses span across the Atlantic and make him a cool $12 million each year. Overall, Trump has spent around $650 million on courses and has already almost doubled his investment on these alone. Seeing as these are 25 separate purchases, this doesn't quite top the list. For that, we need to move to the president's properties. First off, there's 40 Wall Street, known as the Trump Building, which at $10 million in 1995 was an absolute steal, as it's reported to be worth $500 million today. Then there's Mar-a-Lago, a lavish resort in Palm Beach that Trump bought for $10 million in the 80s and is now worth $160 million today. This is now Donald's primary residence, and with 126 rooms of sun-kissed luxury, isn't a bad abode to run the country from. But the real crown jewels in Trump's portfolio are the buildings that bear his name. Trump Tower in New York and Trump International Tower and Hotel in Chicago. The former was the original and was completed in 1983. At 53 stories tall in the middle of New York with the letters Trump blazoned in gold above the entrance, it would be difficult to miss. The tower has a 3-story penthouse reserved for the Trumps, and other apartments reserved for famous occupants including Bruce Willis and Cristiano Ronaldo. The tower cost a typically huge $300 million, but doesn't compare to its counterpart in Chicago and the most expensive purchase on our list. The Trump International Hotel and Tower has 98 stories, which made it the 9th tallest building in the world when it was completed in 2009. With a 339-room hotel, retail space, parking garage, and world-class restaurants and spas, the building makes a statement. Not as much of a statement as the trademark Giant surname on the Giant structure that makes the New York version look a little bit, well, little. If you put all of these assets together, you get a man worth billions. Quite how many billions is up for debate, as neither Trump himself or the rest of the world can agree. However, what's undoubtable is that the man likes to spend money as much as he likes to earn it, and there aren't many who quite like to show off their wealth like Donald J. Trump. Which one of Trump's purchases would you like to have in your portfolio? What do you think he should buy next? Let us know in the comments, and if you like this video, be sure to subscribe for plenty more like it. Thanks for watching.